Hi, and welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. We do have some breaking news right now to report. Live picture there out of Milwaukee, a foggy Tuesday afternoon there. We're learning. I want to put this tweet up from our colleague there at Fox 6, Jason Calvi. And he has a screenshot there, a photo of the order itself, the grand jury indicting a suspended Milwaukee County Judge, Hannah Dugan, on charges she helped a defendant escape. Federal immigration enforcement. This was a story we brought you about 2 weeks ago, and now there's a new development, a grand jury indicting the judge. Remember, the state Supreme Court there in Wisconsin suspending Dugan from her roles, from her duties as a Superior Court judge there. In the meantime, you see the New York Post headline, but in the meantime, the Associated Press has it as follows, that this federal grand jury, a federal grand jury, indicting a Wisconsin judge there, Hannah Dugan, accused of helping a man evade immigration authorities, allowing the case against her to continue. So you'll remember the arrest of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan escalated a clash between President Trump, his administration, and local authorities over the president's sweeping immigration crackdown. Democrats have accused the Trump administration of trying to make a national example of Dugan to chill judicial opposition to the crackdown. Now, prosecutors charged her in April via complaint with concealing an individual to prevent arrest and obstruction. In the federal criminal justice system, prosecutors can initiate charges against a defendant directly by filing a complaint or present evidence to a grand jury and let that body decide whether to issue charges. That is what happened here. Now, a grand jury still reviews charges brought by complaint to determine whether enough probable cause exists to continue the case as a check on prosecutors' power. If the grand jury determines there is probable cause, it issues a written statement of the charges known as an indictment, and that is what has happened. An indictment has been handed down by this federal grand jury. Now, she faces up to 6 years in prison if she's convicted on both counts. Her team of defense attorneys responded to the indictment with a one-sentence statement saying she maintains her innocence and looks forward to being vindicated in court. And there you see, that was the photo put out by FBI Director Kash Patel of Judge Dugan walking away in handcuffs to be detained. Now, prosecutors say she escorted Eduardo Flores Ruiz and his lawyer out of her courtroom through a back jury door on April 18th after learning that agents from ICE were in the courthouse seeking his arrest. According to court documents, Flores Ruiz illegally re-entered the U.S. after being deported in 2013. Online state court records show he was charged with 3 counts of misdemeanor domestic abuse in Milwaukee County back in March. He was in Dugan's courtroom that morning of April the 18th for a hearing along with his lawyer, and she is accused of helping him evade arrest by federal ICE agents there. So that is the charge at hand. Court documents suggest she was alerted to the agent's presence by her clerk, who was informed by an attorney that the agents appeared to be in the hallway. An affidavit says she was visibly angry over the agent's arrival. She called the situation, quote, absurd, before leaving the bench and retreating to her chambers. She and another judge later approached members of the arrest team in the courthouse with what witnesses described as a, quote, confrontational, angry demeanor. Now, after this back and forth with the agents over the warrant for Flores Ruiz, Judge Dugan demanded they speak with the chief judge and led them away from the courtroom. That's according to the affidavit. So in the meantime, this is breaking right now. This is from a federal grand jury indicting this judge there in Milwaukee. Remember, we brought you the news. Wisconsin State Supreme Court did strip Judge Dugan of her role while this is all going on. They suspended her for this, and now she's been indicted by a federal grand jury for her alleged role in all of this. So wanted to get that in there to you. That's a story we're going to stay on top of. Back out live to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.